Fractions. Many people have a hard time with fractions. People can't stand fractions. I work with fractions all the time. And students, they don't like them. So let's take some time to see if we can look at fractions from a different angle. Okay, let's talk about fractions. First thing I want to do is get you to understand exactly what a fraction is. Fractions, marked by this line right here, a fraction line. You put a number at the top, number at the bottom, and top divided by bottom, that's what a fraction represents. That's the reason why a fraction looks a lot like a division symbol, the dots being the numbers that you can put there. Also, fractions work this way algebraically. We kind of covered this in solving for x, but if I have a number at the top, say, 18, and I put a number at the bottom, 9, it's 18 divided by 9, which basically makes 2. Okay, so fractions work that way. What I want you to do for the purposes of this lesson is to imagine a fraction means basically to multiply the top and then divide the bottom. That's what a fraction should be. Multiply the top, divide the bottom. So I'm going to show you various variations on that principle. Multiply the top, divide the bottom. But I want you to actually do the divide part first, always. I'm sorry. Divide the bottom, multiply the top. Say it with me now. Say, divide the bottom, multiply the top. Okay, cool. Divide the bottom, multiply the top. Now, watch how this works. We already know that the bottom is division, the top is multiplication. So if I've got a whole number times a fraction, 4 over 14, what does that equal? Well, in school you learn to do this. You learn to put the whole number over a 1 and then multiply, right? Well, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. What's the point of putting the whole number over a 1? Just multiply the top. 3 times 4 is 12. And then carry the bottom over. Boom, done. 12 over 14. What is the point of putting a 1 over there, under there? It's kind of redundant. Now, there have been many times where you have a fraction, where it's a fraction times a fraction. We'll get to that later. But please remember, you don't have to put a 1 under that whole number, okay? All right, let's talk about whole number times a fraction, but this time the bottom is actually divisible. What happens when the bottom is actually divisible? Because in the first one, the bottom was not divisible. 3 and 14 do not divide each other. But in this one, the bottom is divisible. 28 is divisible by 7. So what I want you to do now is go back to what I have right here. Divide the bottom, multiply the top. We said it before, say it again. Divide the bottom, multiply the top. If the bottom is divisible. 28 divided by 7, do that first. That's 4. 4 times 3 is 12. There's your final answer. Wait a minute. Do that again? Yeah, I'm going to show it to you. What if I have 15 times 2/3? Again, the bottom is divisible. 15 is divisible by 3. What do? We divide the bottom first and multiply the top. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Final answer. Again, no need to put that whole number over a 1 at all. Just divide the bottom, multiply the top. Answer comes right out. Okay, last example here. What if we're solving for x this time again, like in algebra, like I normally did, and we, in the solving for x portion of these series here, I explained how to do this, that if I'm trying to solve for something that's divided, you multiply, correct? But what if the bottom is an x? 4 times x. Well, that doesn't really give you a number for an answer flat out, right? Here's a shortcut. Instead of taking the 2 or 3 extra steps it would take to solve for x here, I want you to switch out the bottom and the answer. In other words, if I have x at the bottom of my fraction, x in the denominator, and I'm solving for x, don't do the 2 or 3 extra steps it takes. There's no need to. Just switch the bottom and the answer out. In other words, switch the 4 and the x here. You get x equals 28 over 4. And we know that 28 over 4 is equal to 7. So x is equal to 7. All right, let's try one again. 9 equals 45 over x. Again, there's an x at the bottom and I want to find out what x is. No need to do the 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever extra steps your teacher teaches you. All you need to do is switch the bottoms out. X is equal to 9. I switched the bottom of that fraction with the answer. That equals 5. X is equal to 5. Again, these little quick fraction tricks, these little shortcuts will kind of help your computation faster. Sometimes you'll even do it in your head if you get smart enough with it. So when you're doing these standardized tests and you're being timed, time is of the essence. Move quickly and you don't have to write everything down when you're doing math. Again, rewind this video if you need to watch it and get these steps and practice some more.
All right, folks, good luck on conquering those fractions. And by the way, if you need any more help, if some things are still unclear to you or you have more questions, info@ebotutoring.com. That's info@ebotutoring.com. Contact us and we can help. We can ask whatever questions you need or whatever clarification, ask. And if you need a tutor, if this is just still too much for you and you still need more help, hire yourself a personal tutor from EBO. We have great tutors that can help you with any subject, math, social studies, English, science, whatever it is, we got you. Take care. See you soon.